Okay, now I have all the building blocks for creating an image set. I have the ability to store an image in the database. I have code for creating a page size version of the image and a thumbnail size version of the image. So I'm ready to start hooking everything together. And I'm going to put this in the image set in a constructor for image set. So public function construct. And what I'm going to do is this is actually going to be where I upload the file to. So where you upload the file right now is in the constructor for image, but image is only responsible for a single image, where ImageSet is responsible for taking the file upload and creating the different versions and then creating images for each one. So I'm going to have to refactor this code a little bit. Let's start with image. Instead of taking a file and creating an image magic object and coalescing it and getting the dimensions and all that other stuff, I think what I want to do instead is have this constructor take a blob and a width and a height and a type and actually a size. And I'm actually going to reorder these to match this insert statement. So type size width height and data instead of the file. And so I don't need type or size here. I already have data. I don't need to get the dimensions. I just need to store width and height in the database. And that's going to set the image ID that I can use with getID. So simpler. And then here in this constructor, this is where I'm going to do all the heavy lifting. So here's where the file comes in. And I'm going to move those constants here as well. Okay, so now let's start chewing through this. So the type is file sub image set colon file type, and size is file image set file size, and temp name is used to create the data. File get contents, file sub image set file temp name, and then we'll also get name, which we'll need for the image set record in the database. And let's add that. Okay, so we have our blob. Now what we're going to do is create an image. And then let's create the page-sized image from that. So I'm actually going to change this a little bit so I don't have to call getImageGeometry up here. I'm going to have this actually return the image. So image, and I'm going to do the same thing here for this thumbnail. I'm just going to have it return the image. Okay. And there's no reason these can't be static functions or private, so I'm going to make them both private static functions. Okay, so I have all of the data I need to create the first image. So I'm going to create a new image and I'm going to pass in these values. So type, size, then width and height, I'm going to go ahead and calculate here. So D equal pointer get image geometry, and before I do that I have to coalesce the image. And then width is D pointer, I'm sorry, D square bracket width, and height is D square bracket height. Alright, so that's the original image. And then for the page size, I'm going to scale the full size down. So page is equal to ImageSet : create page image, and I'm going to pass in image. So this thing will have the same type. The size is now going to be the size of the blob. I have to get the blob. Width and height I have to calculate using getImageGeometry, and then data is going to be the blob. So let's go ahead and get the blob. And then the geometry is page pointer coalesce images. D is page get image geometry. And then copy these two lines again. Copy these three lines. And I also need size here, which is sterlen of data. So I have my same type, size, width, height, and data, and this is going to be page image. And then I'm going to go ahead and scale the page size version down to the thumbnail rather than the original version, because this is usually going to be smaller, so there's less work. So let's go ahead and call thumb equal ImageSet : create thumbnail image of page. And then basically repeat all of this code. Except this time, well, we're going to call thumb coalesce images and thumb get image geometry. And thumb image is new image. So those are all three of the images, and they should all be in the database. Now we're ready to construct our image set record and insert that. So let's go to Share Database here. And we already have all of the constants we need for the keys. I'm going to write this up here and then move it into a method to keep my life easier. So this is going to be function insert image set. And I'm going to need to pass in owner, name, sharing, and then original ID, page ID, thumb ID. And then we want to create a query. Now I'm going to move down here. So the basic process looks the same as this did. So let's go ahead and copy this code. Paste it in here. And I might as well go ahead and move this down now. I just needed to be able to see those constants. So cut that, move it down here. Okay. So I need the image set table. Image sets table. And let's see what I need. Okay, so I need share database. Actually, I should have kept it up there so I could see those constants. I still need them. So owner key, time key, name key, sharing key. So owner key, name key. I don't need time key because that's auto-generated. I need sharing key and the IDs. So sharing key and reg ID and page ID key, and finally thumb ID key. All right, so there should be all the keys. So my insert statement is insert into image sets table, and then I want owner key, name key, sharing key, a rig ID key, page key, and one more thumb key. So I need one more parameter here. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 of those. Page ID key and thumb ID key. Okay, good. So that looks good so far. Then I get the connection, I prepare the query, this binding params now. So what I have is string, 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 integer, integer, integer. So string, 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 integer, integer, integer. And none of these are binary, so I can get rid of that. And then let's just go through and match each one. So owner, name, sharing, a rig ID, page ID, thumb ID. Okay, so those should be the same ones I passed in. Owner, name, sharing, rig ID, page ID, thumb ID. Good. Then I execute the statement and I return the insert ID from the connection. Okay, so that's insert image set. And I'm going to go to image sets now and paste that in. So DB is new shared database, and DB pointer insert image set. So for the owner, I need to get the owner, and that's going to be on user : get user. And I think that's static. Let me refresh my memory here. Yeah, so those are all static. And then name I got from the file upload. Sharing, I don't have anything for yet. So the default is going to be sharing private. So it's going to be private when they upload it until they take action to share it. And we'll get there next week. So original ID, actually when I did the insert, right? So a rig is the original ID. Page image is the page ID and thumb image is the thumb ID. And I'm actually going to make this clearer. So that's the original ID, page ID, and thumb ID. And that's everything I need to create my record. So here, I want to return the ID. So I'm just going to return this value. All right, and then my file upload wants to upload here instead of to image. So upload file wants to call new image set of the file. And then the rest of this should be the same.